Hello everybody, Rainbow Dark Dragon here, back with another Magic Gathering Arena video. This one's going to be more or less a tip video for wanting to play Magic Gathering on a budget. You want to play it, don't have the cards, don't have the mythics, don't have the rares or wilds, you're not the only one. But you want to still play your waifu. Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? But I'll show you in just these few different decks. That's right, there's going to be more than one. I'm going to showcase a few variants. This one's going to be a mono black discard deck, where the only rare is, well, Liliana the Veil, and it's mythic. Technically, you can have like some rares in the deck to upgrade, and I highly advise that you do play like some board wipes. Some of those things, like this card, good rare, Raven Man's a possibility. Wouldn't want to spend your actual rare wild cards on Raven Man though. Painful Quandary, great card. Aztec, not necessary. Also mythic. Wrinkle's Prank, it's cool. Wouldn't spend it all on it though. And some other options. In case you don't got Bitter Triumph, go for the Throat. There's more 2-drop removals. Feed the Cycle. Feed the Swarm. Also answers enchantments. Go for the Throat. And if you really have to, you can play Murder. Tithing Blade. Another good one. Also common. Are all options that you can play in that black color with Liliana that throughout the rest of this video I'm going to show you can be a base shell if you want to build its Rakdos mid-range, Rakdos discard, Liliana this or that, just to build up your wild cards so you can build those decks. I'd say Liliana's a pretty basic fit in order to do so. So, without further ado, let's get into the videos and show you just what it's capable of and what you're going to expect to see when you are playing this deck. Wins and the losses. Alright, we're back right away with Dark Blade, the Fairy opponent. We're looking okay here. It's fine. We shouldn't get mana color screwed because it's a monocolored deck. Nothing really to get screwed on other than the mana value of it. Interesting that we got it. Well, let's just play Bandit style since he has his hand full. See if he wants to discard 2 non-lands or a non-land card. All will be one, playing against a combo deck. Interesting. He'll probably sacrifice this to draw a card. Yeah. Let's play a Hopeless Nightmare. Try and get another card out of his hand. And then we'll play the Agent, in hopes that he gets rid of another card from his hand. He now knows we're mono black discard, but well, to each their own. Now he's probably going to have to get rid of a real card. Land. Be fair, he did discard 2 lands, so he might be pretty low now. I'm trying to incentivize him to tap out. That way we can get this card. Very big key to this deck, to have some kind of removal. Try and just attack with this, see if he blocks. Perfect. Never do that, by the way, because now he's gotta get blown out and lost his entire board. And we get to upgrade the Bandit's talent. Great. And the thing about this is, it's not just discard. I'm playing cards that purposely exile cards from my opponent's hand. Let's just go ahead and snail first. So we don't have to try and waste a removal if he wants to draw a card to get rid of something else. No, he just lets it happen. Okay. Well, we'll pass the turn. Because he is just going to sacrifice this to draw a card. I would think. Interesting. We're in a pretty similar situation again. We get to Bitter Triumph. Just lose 3 life. We're pretty high on life total. Highly advise you also just choose these cards, the 2-mana removal spells, that are instant speed. Very important to do that. Go ahead and Swamp Cycle here. Typhoon Blade, just get rid of his creature. And pass the turn. Hopefully we'll get Liliana soon. That'll be a pretty good one. He finally got a land after having to discard his lands. I really want to get a discard outlet going. So let's just level this up all the way. Stop on my upkeep to sacrifice the Hopeless Nightmare to try and draw. Yeah, we're still gonna try and hit a card to get rid of from his hand. No, it's not good enough against that. Leon the Veil's good though. Leon is really good. And -2.
No more distractions.
Take care of the board. And that's exactly what this deck does. And he's slowly getting whittled away because he had to get rid of some of his lands, so he couldn't play some of his bigger cards when he wanted to or needed to. Yep. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. We're going to +1 discard the land. Get rid of his last card, which he couldn't play. Attack for 1. See if he blocks. He might, yeah. Get rid of his board. And play the agent. Next turn, we get to transform this agent into a 3/3 Death Toucher that when it deals combat damage to a player or battle, draw a card. And he had enough. And just like that, the first game underway. Well, let's go ahead and hop into the second game. See if you can see a bad matchup or a good matchup. We'll find out together. All right, we're back against Aeon. And we'll see how good we match up against this matchup. Got removal, got turn 1, turn 2. Then into Liliana, into 4-drop. So if we draw land, will be our best draws at the moment. And we got there with the 1 land, so we're sitting pretty good. We have several different options available to us. I would prefer to use these kind of cards later on in the game, just because, you know, you have more options to get rid of things. He is a black deck with removal. He got rid of one of his removals, so he might be removal heavy, or he just thinks we're mono black discard without any creatures. So maybe this Blight Age is going to get there, do something. Of course, it's against Flash. We all know how much I like that archetype. Spoiler alert, I don't. Who could have figured? Interesting. Opponent is basically tapped out, but he does have a 3/3 land creature with Vigilance if he gets 2 more lands. So let's go ahead and play this. +1, and just get rid of a Tithing Blade here. Make him get rid of some action. He got rid of a Kaido. Kinda strange. He must have a second copy of it. I would think he does, because that's a very strange card to want to rid yourself of. Yeah, there it is. So he did have a second one.
Out of the shadows and into the fray. I've
now
trained with the best.
I'm gonna need instant speed sacrifice ability to do anything about that. I'm just gonna discard 2 cards from my opponent's hand. And just +1. Get rid of another Tithing Blade. Because both his creatures, this and the land, they basically don't do much. Well, my removal doesn't do much against them. My instant speed removal can answer the land. But, I'm just probably going to lose to this. Bandit's Talent. Does it get in? Or do you have a flash creature? I'd say on a scale on hard matchups, blue-black flash is much more difficult to win against. It's going to be our tougher matchups. For this matchup, there is another black at instant speed that's 2 mana. That's a sacrifice effect for your opponent. Oh, that just permanently becomes a creature. That's nice.
I thrive in the
Thankfully, I do have a bitter triumph for it. But still, this Kaido is just destroying us. Yeah. But that's exactly what I wanted to show you guys. This kind of matchup is the exact matchup you're going to have to struggle with. And to be fair, there is a way for you to build around to beat it. And I will show you that in just one moment. Alright, welcome back to the post-game 2. This is the card I was talking about, Sheoldred's Edict. Very important for dealing with hexproofing creatures is to make your opponent sacrifice his cards. This can be good against the blue flash Sphinx that's hexproof if you haven't cast anything, so specifically good against the flash variant. You can take out a number of Go for the Throat for the Edict. You could do this, put Go for the Throat in, move that to the side, just to help with certain variations. Bitter Triumph can kill Planswalkers, so you can kill a Kaido on your turn, but the Ninjutsu Kaido is still going to get in some damage against you. And with that, that's this version of the deck. And with that, we'll go ahead and see if those slight adjustments help us if we can find another blue-black flash instance. But it should still work against other decks, or forms of decks. This one's not as a good hand, simply because Hopeless Nightmare doesn't really do anything. Liliana doesn't do anything till turn 3. We have 3 mana, but if we're playing against any other kind of deck, you kind of want to have to mulligan this. You want to be playing Magic or have interactive cards like this. Don't have a 1-drop, but again, like I said, Hopeless Nightmare, not exactly a 1-drop kind of card. Duress is going to take our either Go for the Throat if he's a creature deck, or Bandit's Talent, because he can't probably answer that. And he sure did take that. So we're going to go ahead and play the Agent, make him have a removal for it. And we'll try to hold the Snail for when we have a better quality to hit in his hand, more than just a basic Swamp. Essentially, since we're playing against the black discard deck. Feed the Swarm would be good against this deck we're facing right now. Why? We get rid of Bandit's Talent, which is very critical in this matchup to get rid of. And now we're just gonna go ahead and play the snail out. Since he's just gonna discard our hand regardless. You can also play Phyrexian Arena in this deck. It's another rare. But like I said, think about it first. Not every deck wants to play Arena. You're gonna want to try and pick rares that are playable throughout certain decks, like certain Wraths and the sort. Very good card to hit with the snail, by the way. Like Shielded. Shielded is, if you have this, just put it in your deck. Interesting. Our opponent must be looking for something specific, and he put 2 on top, so that's very scary. Very scary indeed. If we get 1 more land, we can flip this agent and start having some card draw, which would be very nice, as well as a pretty big... There we go. Not only have some card advantage, but some card draw, and some pressure on the opponent's life total. They have the Liliana. Unfortunate.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit when we win.
But this is what I meant by the Rankle's Prank. It can be good.
Sacrifices must be made.
Yeah, I kind of do recommend it. Our Liliana, though, however, has more loyalty.
A fight? And you think you won't be outsmarting me?
And as a result, more options of being able to get rid of my opponent's stuff. The reason I didn't want to play the bat
We all have things we'd rather forget.
was because I don't like it
I've always hated crowds.
in this kind of a deck that I'm trying to show you certain principles.
Happy to help,
And
but I'm taking the don't
playing
overthink
bat,
things.
some decks want it. It's a 1/1 flying lifelinker. Important, especially if you're playing the Phyrexian Arena version. But if you're not,
I'm tired of your secrets.
then well, that's going to hurt some.
You won't be outsmarting
A lot
me.
of some.
Drop it.
Alright. We're probably going to put this to 7.
We all have things we'd
And
rather...
then neg 6 it. Just to probably put Liliana the Veil and a land, because I want him to lose his Liliana in the Veil.
You won't be outsmarting me.
So I'll put Liliana, leave Hopeless Nightmare by itself. If I draw another Liliana, then I'll just neg 6 this right now. No question.
I'm tired
But this
of
is
your
going to
secrets.
help get rid of his Liliana. If he wants to keep lands.
Drop it. Ooh.
Bam,
Normally,
bam.
I'm the one who chooses who lives and who dies.
Now, he has a quandrum to do. Either lose 3 lands, keep a Liliana swamp, or lose a swamp in Liliana. Either way, he's not going to be able to cast a Shieldred off the top. Very interesting that he did that. We'll see what he does. We'll see. 8, 9, 10. I have 10 permanents. So it's going to be interesting how he stacks that. I'll sacrifice the Hopeless Nightmare on the end step.
Wipe that smug look off
Sorry,
your face.
I'm not interested in dying today. See your life flashing before your very eyes? Good.
So, he did a much worse version of this. He didn't keep his Liliana, and now he just has a single swamp. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm gonna just keep all my land. And it's fine if I lose my 1 Liliana. That's on 1. Choose. Sacrifice pile 2? Yes. And this will trigger the Hopeless Nightmare, allow me to scry 2. put both of these to the bottom. Pass turn, because now I want to keep some cards in hand for the bandit's talent. Play this with the ward of him discarding a card. I don't like Ruthless Interrogation either. Just kinda don't like it. It does exile cards from your opponent's hand, and it does draw you a card with 5 or more mana, but still. You can see some of the cards that he played that I purposely didn't play that would benefit your deck, but back to the deck tech. That's Liliana discard for you. No rares. Just Liliana the Veil, Mythic. Just to showcase on how it works. You just need a card that can win you the game. You want to play your waifu, that's fine. A card that counteracts decks that will just beat your waifu. Tokens, i.e. tokens. If you can't afford it, you put in, of course, any of the mythics that you have that fit the coloring, any of the rares that you have that fit the coloring, and of course, cards that get rid of the counter to your deck of the purpose of your card, and cards that win, like Bandit's Talent. Like, you honestly don't even need these creatures. You just need an ability to slowly whittle your opponent down to nothing and win the game. But that'll be it for this video. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching this week's video. I'm your host, Rainbow Dark Dragon. See you at the end of this rainbow.